The 29th night of Ramadan has arrived, and for many people this could be the final night of this blessed month. My beloved brothers and sisters, Ramadan always feels long when it begins, but suddenly the last nights appear and the heart realizes how quickly the opportunity has passed. Some people begin to feel regret, thinking about the prayers they delayed, the Quran they did not read, or the moments they wasted in distraction. But Allah, in His mercy, still leaves the door open. The 29th night may be the final chance for you to seek forgiveness, make sincere dua, and return to Allah with humility. Do not allow this night to pass like any other night. A single sincere moment with Allah can erase sins, calm your heart, and transform your future. This night could be the final night of Ramadan. When the 29th night of Ramadan arrives, the believer should pause and reflect on something very important. This night could actually be the final night of the entire month. If the moon is sighted the following evening, Ramadan will end quietly and the opportunity of this blessed month will close. Many people continue their routine without realizing this reality. They assume there will still be more nights, but time often moves faster than we expect. The believer who understands this possibility treats the 29th night with urgency and sincerity. Ramadan always feels long when it begins. The first days arrive with excitement, motivation, and strong intentions. People plan to pray more, read more Quran, and become closer to Allah. But as the days pass, the month moves quickly. Suddenly the final nights appear and the heart realizes how short the opportunity truly was. This realization should awaken the believer to make the most of the remaining moments. The possibility that this could be the final night of Ramadan should inspire a sense of awareness. If this night is truly the last one, it means that the chance to gain the special rewards of Ramadan may end before the next sunset. The believer who understands this does not delay worship or postpone repentance. One of the most powerful aspects of Ramadan is the opportunity for forgiveness. Throughout the month, Allah opens the doors of mercy and invites His servants to return to Him. But these opportunities are connected to time. When the month ends, that special season of multiplied reward ends as well. Recognizing this encourages the believer to value every remaining night. This night could also carry the possibility of Laylatul Qadr. Because Laylatul Qadr is hidden among the final nights, the 29th night should be approached with seriousness and hope. A believer who worships sincerely tonight may experience reward greater than 83 years of devotion. The Prophet ﷺ encouraged believers to seek Laylatul Qadr during the last nights of Ramadan. His example teaches us that every one of these nights carries immense potential. Treating the 29th night with dedication increases the chances of experiencing that blessed moment. Another important reflection is that no one is guaranteed another Ramadan. Every year, many people who fasted the previous Ramadan are no longer present to witness the next one. This reminder should encourage the believer to value the nights they have now. When the believer realizes that this could be the final night of Ramadan, the heart becomes more sincere. Distractions begin to feel less important, and the focus returns to worship and reflection. Even small acts of worship tonight can carry enormous reward. Reading a few verses of the Quran, making sincere dua, or seeking forgiveness may bring blessings beyond imagination. This night should also be a time of reflection. Think about your actions, your intentions, and your relationship with Allah. These quiet moments help strengthen the heart and renew faith. Do not allow tiredness or routine to make this night feel ordinary. The believer understands that ordinary nights do not carry the opportunities that Ramadan nights contain. This night could truly be the final night of Ramadan. The believer who recognizes its value may spend it in prayer, reflection, and sincere dua, hoping that Allah accepts their efforts and allows them to leave the month forgiven and spiritually renewed. Laylatul Qadr may still be hidden tonight. The arrival of the 29th night of Ramadan carries a powerful reminder for every believer. Laylatul Qadr may still be hidden within this very night. Many people assume that the most likely night has already passed, but the wisdom of Allah is that the exact night remains unknown. Because of this, every one of the final nights deserves sincere attention. The believer who understands this does not become careless. Instead, they remain hopeful and continue their worship with focus and humility, knowing that the blessing of Laylatul Qadr could still be present tonight. Laylatul Qadr is described in the Quran as a night better than 1,000 months. This means that one sincere night of worship may carry reward greater than 83 years. When a believer reflects on this incredible opportunity, it becomes clear that no night of the final days should be ignored. Even a single sincere moment during this night could outweigh decades of ordinary worship. One of the great wisdoms behind Laylatul Qadr being hidden is that it encourages believers to remain consistent. If the exact night were known, many people would worship only on that single evening. But because it is hidden among the final nights, believers strive across several nights, strengthening their connection with Allah. The 29th night is especially important because it remains one of the odd nights in the final 10 nights of Ramadan. The Prophet ﷺ encouraged believers to seek Laylatul Qadr within the odd nights. This means the possibility that it may fall on the 29th night remains strong. Many believers become tired as Ramadan approaches its end. The body may feel weak and the routine of fasting may begin to take its toll. But remembering that Laylatul Qadr may still be hidden tonight gives the believer renewed motivation to continue worship. Another beautiful aspect of this night is the peace that surrounds it. The Quran describes Laylatul Qadr as a night filled with peace until the break of dawn. The believer who spends this night in prayer and remembrance may feel a special calmness within the heart. These nights also remind us that Allah's generosity is beyond our imagination. The reward He offers during Laylatul Qadr shows how much He wants good for His servants. A small act of worship performed during this night may carry immense reward. It is also important to remember that Laylatul Qadr is not about performing the longest or most difficult acts of worship. What matters most is sincerity. A humble prayer, a heartfelt dua, or sincere repentance may carry incredible value. The quiet hours of the night create a perfect environment for reflection and worship. When the world becomes silent, the believer can turn to Allah with full attention and sincerity. This night is also a chance to seek forgiveness for past mistakes. Allah loves the servant who returns to Him sincerely. Asking for forgiveness during this night may erase years of regret. Because Laylatul Qadr may still be hidden tonight, the believer should approach the night with hope rather than assumption. Treating this night as if it may be Laylatul Qadr encourages sincerity and devotion. Laylatul Qadr may still be hidden tonight, and that possibility alone should awaken the heart. The believer who values this opportunity may spend the night in prayer, remembrance and dua, hoping that Allah allows them to experience the immense blessings of this extraordinary night. Sincere dua can change your destiny. There are moments in life when a person feels completely surrounded by problems. Plans collapse, worries increase, and the future appears uncertain. At times like these, people may feel powerless to change their situation. But Islam reminds us of a powerful truth. Dua is not just a request, it is a connection with the one who controls every outcome. When a believer raises their hands and sincerely calls upon Allah, they are turning to the one whose power has no limits. What appears impossible to us is easy for Allah. A sincere dua has the ability to open doors that once seemed permanently closed. During the final nights of Ramadan, this connection becomes even more meaningful. These nights carry immense blessing, and within them lies Laylatul Qadr, a night better than 1,000 months. When a believer makes dua during these nights, they are asking Allah during one of the most powerful moments of the year. A single sincere supplication in these nights may carry reward greater than decades of effort. Dua begins with humility. A believer understands that human ability is limited and that ultimate control belongs only to Allah. When a person turns to Allah sincerely, they admit that they need His help and guidance. This humility softens the heart and strengthens faith. Another important part of sincere dua is honesty. You do not need complicated words or perfect phrases to speak to Allah. Speak to Him as you are. Tell Him about your fears, your hopes and your struggles. Allah already knows what is in your heart, but expressing it through dua deepens the connection between you and your Creator. Sometimes a believer feels that their dua is not being answered because their situation has not changed immediately. But Allah responds in ways filled with wisdom. Sometimes the answer faster than we realize. This reflection encourages believers to value every opportunity to grow closer to Allah. The end of Ramadan truly becomes the time to return to Allah with sincerity and hope. The believer who uses these final moments wisely may leave the month with a heart that feels lighter, stronger, and more connected to Allah than ever before. As Ramadan reaches its closing moments, the believer should understand that endings often carry the most meaningful lessons. Many people begin Ramadan with excitement and strong motivation, but the true value of the month appears when it ends. The final nights invite the believer to gather their focus again and turn sincerely to Allah. These moments are a reminder that Allah always leaves the door open for His servants. Even if earlier days felt distracted or weak, the end of Ramadan still offers a chance to renew the heart. When the believer reflects on the passing of Ramadan, they begin to understand how quickly time moves. A month that seemed long at the beginning suddenly feels short when it approaches its end. This experience teaches an important lesson about life itself. Just as Ramadan passes quickly, life also moves forward faster than we expect. Recognizing this reality encourages the believer to value every opportunity to worship and strengthen their relationship with Allah. The final days of Ramadan also encourage deep self-reflection. A believer may ask themselves important questions. Did this month bring me closer to Allah? Did I improve my character and patience? Which habits should I continue after Ramadan ends? Reflection allows the heart to grow and encourages sincere change. Another important step during these nights is strengthening repentance. Seeking forgiveness sincerely removes the weight of past mistakes. When a believer asks Allah for forgiveness, the heart begins to feel lighter and more hopeful. Allah loves the servant who returns to Him with humility. These final nights are also powerful moments for dua. Speaking to Allah during the quiet hours of the night allows the believer to express their deepest hopes and concerns. These sincere conversations strengthen faith and trust in Allah's wisdom. Gratitude should also fill the heart as Ramadan ends. Being able to witness these nights is itself a blessing. Many people who fasted in previous years are no longer here today. Recognizing this reality encourages the believer to appreciate every remaining moment of the month. Another beautiful aspect of the end of Ramadan is the peace it brings. When a believer spends time in prayer and remembrance during the night, the world becomes quiet and the heart becomes calm. These peaceful moments strengthen spiritual connection. The end of Ramadan also reminds believers to carry its lessons into the rest of the year. The discipline developed during fasting, the patience learned through hunger, and the generosity practiced through charity should continue beyond the month. It is also important to ask Allah to accept every act of worship performed during Ramadan. No matter how much effort a person makes, acceptance ultimately belongs to Allah. Asking Him to accept even small deeds shows sincerity and humility. These nights should also encourage kindness toward others. Forgiving people, helping those in need, and showing patience with family members are acts that strengthen the heart and bring blessings. The final days of Ramadan teach believers that change is always possible. Even if someone feels they struggle during the month, returning to Allah sincerely during these nights can still transform their spiritual state. The end of Ramadan truly becomes a time of renewal. The believer who turns to Allah with sincerity, gratitude, and hope may leave the month with a heart that feels lighter, stronger, and more connected to Allah than ever before. As the final hours of Ramadan quietly approach, the believer begins to feel a deep awareness that something special is about to depart. Ramadan is not just a period of fasting, it is a season of mercy that softens hearts and reconnects people with their Creator. When the end draws near, the heart naturally feels both gratitude and sadness. Gratitude for witnessing such a blessed month, and sadness because the opportunity is slipping away. This feeling itself is a blessing because it reminds the believer that their heart is still alive with faith. Many people only begin to fully appreciate Ramadan when it is almost gone. During the early days, routines and distractions sometimes continue as usual. But when the final